Britain's furious at Barnier's sabotage mission, as EU's fishing demands ripped apart. Britons have reacted furiously at the EU over claims the UK has given in to the demands of Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier on fishing rights as trade talks remain on the brink. Post-Brexit trade talks between the UK and the EU remain at an impasse with outstanding issues of fisheries and the so-called level playing field on competition. Ahead of the resumption of talks on Monday, Mr. Barnier issued an update to diplomats of the EU 27 member states and insisted that two conditions are not met yet but maintained this deal, it is still possible. A huge row erupted after an EU diplomat claimed there had been backtracking by the UK negotiating side over access to British coastal waters for EU fishermen beyond the end of the Brexit transition period on December 31. A UK source immediately knocked back any suggestions of the UK caving into fishing demands at the 11th hour. They said, "Just not true." Reacting to an earlier story, one reader commented, "The EU keep pushing their lies about the negotiation in the hope the government will accept their ridiculous demands. No way can we be bound by the EU fishing quotas and their laws and regulations. We voted to return all sovereignty back to the UK, no more outsourced government." Another user said, "Barnier's mission has always been to sabotage Brexit rather than look for sensible options." A third wrote, "Time to stop useless talks now. Britain get ready for no deal." Meanwhile, a fourth added, "No deal Brexit will leave the EU in shreds, not Britain. The UK has vowed to leave the EU common fisheries policy and take back control of its 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone." EU negotiators, under the pressure of fishing nations such as France, have vowed to block a wider trade deal if there is no agreement on access to UK waters. Britain will become an independent coastal state from January, and the government has confirmed 4 Royal Navy gunboats have been placed on standby to guard UK waters in the event of a no-deal exit. Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab doubled down on the government's commitment and insisted the UK is going to exercise full control in the way I think people would expect over our fisheries. But, Business Secretary Alok Sharma reiterated the UK would stop talks at the end of the month regardless of the outcome. Speaking to the BBC, he said, "We have always said the transition period ends at the end of December and we will not be continuing discussions beyond that. Any deal that we have will then have to go through Parliament, so that would really be cutting it quite fine."